Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. So today I am here to test out the new PLouise Money Shot palette. This is a double palette. This is a big boy, this is a hefty one. So I am a big PLouise fan of like her makeup basically, and when this new palette was announced, I'm like, it's a green palette. I'm very excited. Of course she's done like green palettes before, she's done like all different types of palettes, but when I saw this one, because this is a double palette, I was like, I really want to get it. And I was on her TikTok live and they actually had this on like a massive discount. I can't remember how much it was, I'm sorry, but it was much more affordable than the website. What I was gonna do was buy the two mini palettes, and then when I saw her TikTok shop had this for basically the same price as buying the two minis, I picked this up. So in case you haven't seen it before, this is what it looks like on the outside. It's like, yeah, I don't know what these are supposed to be. I don't know if they're meant to be like chips or if they're meant to be yeah, I'm not really sure what this, oh, it's like adjust focus, I don't know, they're meant to be like little coins, I don't know. So when you open it, first of all, I love this emblem. Like her, like I've said this a million times, I will say it a million more times, her packaging is absolutely outstanding. It's just that these are unnecessarily big. So let's look at the green side. So when you open it up, you get a massive mirror. You get and it basically says confidence within is something money can't buy. So you look at the green side itself, absolutely stunning. Like last year green was like my tone, and I absolutely love the look of this palette. And then I'm going to close it because I'm going to show you guys the bottom bit. So then we've got a yellowy kind of like nudie type, so this is another gorgeous side. I basically today I'm going to do one look of each, if that makes any sense. I'm going to have one green side and one like yellowish brownish side, if that makes any sense, just because it'll be easier to incorporate like the whole palette into a look. So as you can see, I've got my base on already. Everything I use I mentioned in the description. What I'm going to do first is use my PLouise base to kind of get my lids nice and primed up. I normally don't always do it, but I felt like today is the perfect time to use a PLouise base, and I absolutely love her bases. I have so many of them, even if it's just like the blank ones or the color ones. I have way too many than I actually need, but I love them and they're pretty affordable. I mean, this has lasted me a really long time and it was like £10. I think I remember buying this at the Morphe store when it kind of like first opened, because I've always wanted to try PLouise so much. So we're starting off on the green side, and I don't really know what type of look I'm going to do because again there's so many bloody shades. I'm going to do swatches of the green side here first, so then we can just like get into some type of look. I don't know what I'm going to do and what type of brush I'm using first. I should have done this beforehand, but I really just wanted to be like throw myself in the deep end, and thankfully I have a lot of clean brushes today. So I am going to start off with Your Moment, just here. And again, this is very difficult to hold up, so I'm actually going to use the mirror here because it's just so convenient. So I'm taking a really kind of flat brush and we're going to take that just as like a crease, and let's get this on. So I didn't actually wait too long for this palette to come out, so I did pick it up on the day it was released, and I believe on her website it is like maybe 50-60 pounds or something. It's the same price as I'm pretty sure it's the same as the Queen Conquer palette, and I absolutely love that palette. It's just weird theming around this. I never kind of got it until I watched Make Me Up by Missa. She said it's kind of like a really like innuendo type of theme of a palette. Like when you look at the names and when you look at like the word money shot, like there's so many different interpretations of what a money shot is. I've always felt like money shot is like the one shot that is gonna make you all the buck, hence the name. Like obviously they use it a lot in the movies, like when they say, oh, this, you know, this action sequence, it's the money shot and then stuff like that. But then there's also many different innuendos that I'm sure we can't talk about on the internet. So that was the first shade. It's a very pastel type of shade. I'm not too big on like pastel greens and just pastel shades in general, but it's very pigmented, and I do think that the primer does help a lot. But again, these palettes are so pigmented that I feel like it's gonna work anyway. I'm now gonna go in with Showbiz, which is just here. It's so difficult for me to point, but the problem is this palette has so many similar looking shades that when I watched Mrs. video, I agree that a lot of these shades could have just been like taken out, and this could have been a much smaller palette. And it's so hard to hold because I've got it with one hand and I'm trying to talk and film, and I'm trying to like put on my eyeshadow at the same time, so it's a little bit annoying, but we're just gonna roll with it. And the fact that I'm doing one side each, I know this video might be a bit longer than normal, but I just want to kind of get as much as I can out of this video to kind of like show you guys. And that's the shade going on top. It's kind of, I don't know if it's my fault for blending this on top, but it's kind of like, this happened in another video. I don't know if it's my eyes, but like the shadows here just kind of like stop, they don't move. And I don't know if it's my skin. I haven't had any issues with my eyes recently, or that I know of. And we're just gonna add maybe a bit more here. Okay, that's looking a bit odd, but let's move on to another shade. I'm gonna go in with Girl on Film, which is just here. And again, another green. Hence I don't need to say like what type of tone it is, because this is a very obviously green palette. And again, there's so many green palettes that have come out recently. Like of course Beauty Bay came out with their Wilderness palette, which I absolutely love. That's a very affordable palette, so if you want something that's kind of has great shades and has like a mixture of greens and not just very similar greens, that is definitely worth it. And it's on par with like quality when it comes to like the shimmers. And the matte shades have always been a bit funny when it comes to me and Beauty Bay shades, because sometimes their matte shades are not as like amazing as their shimmers, but their shimmers are outstanding. So this is looking okay still. I'm just really annoyed by this. I don't know why this is there, but it's kind of made it look a little bit interesting. That was not intentional. I don't know if it's just something to do with my eyes. Anyway, this is still Girl on Film, and I'm just taking that around here. I'm not doing anything like crazy extravagant because I'm not very good anyway, but I just feel like let's just do what we can and just work with it. So again, very pigmented, no issues so far. Let's go in with a shimmer. I kind of feel like we're just going to top it off with a shimmer. We're going to go in with the big screen, which is just here. I'm going to use my finger because I might as well when it comes to like these shimmers. Oh, and I'm just going to tap here. Wow. I mean, again, no issues whatsoever when it comes to these shimmers. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Ooh, that's gorgeous. I'm just going to blend it out with the first brush that I kind of used with Showbiz. I'm just going to blend that out slightly, just so it's a bit more blended, basically. Interesting. I mean, I don't really know if that's a great look. It's something. And again, because some of these green tones are very similar, it's very difficult for me to kind of just be like, oh yeah, let's go with this one and this one. I kind of feel like going a bit more with Showbiz and seeing if it will move, because I know if I add more it will just look weird. It is weird because there's another video that I'm pretty sure is going to probably come out after this. All my, like, the tone that I had here just stopped there and it just wasn't blending. And I don't know if it's my eye, I don't know if it's the shadow or anything, but if it's a reoccurring thing, it's most likely going to be my eye. So I'm going to go back in with Your Moment, which is a light kind of green, obviously, and kind of blend it all in. So I'm just going to kind of go back in with big screen and tap. I'm going to go in with an inner corner tone, and we're just going to go in with record, which is again very difficult for me to hold up just here. Okay, we're just taking a little brush to kind of tap a little bit of excess coming off and just put that here. Again, I have absolutely no issues with shimmers. I just think some of the matte shades are a little bit okay. So this is kind of like the green side that I'm going to keep. I'm not completely happy with it just because I feel like I could have done a bit more, but I'm honestly just using what I can. I'm going to go and kind of like clean my finger, and then we're going to start on this side. Okay, so I've actually just added a small bit of my Epic liner because I thought it would give it a bit more of an oomph. So I've already primed this side, so now we're going to go onto the kind of yellowish brown side. I'm going to put up some swatches. I don't want to swatch the whole palette because I would literally be there all week because there's so many shades. So I'm going to start off with what we're going to do today. So there's a kind of lot of yellowy, grey, deeper tones. So I want to go in with Polaroid, which is this kind of like mustardy yellow, and I'm going to start off as like my kind of wing shade. I'm not going to be using the mirror for that one because holding it is literally like a chore, so I'm going to use this side to kind of do it. So let's see how this works. This is crazy pigmented already. Wow, just making sure you guys can see. Wow, I know it's going to obviously look a bit weird because I've got two different eye looks, but hence, you know, this review and testing it out for you guys, and just mainly like for me to see which side I kind of prefer, because when it comes to Watch the Queen Conquer palette, I just can't decide because both sides I feel are absolutely stunning. And then this side, I don't know, so far it's obviously, I can't say much because I've only tested one shade, but this shade itself is gorgeous. So let's go on to a bit of a fluffier brush so we can do something deeper in the corner here. Let's go in with Life is a Movie just here. So I kind of like the fact that you can detach this palette, but I just don't want it to like fall out, if that makes any sense. But it is quite like secure in there when I have moved this around, and there is a slip case that comes with this palette, so that's another thing to like deal with, is another like big part of it, and it's good to have it. But again, I'm not going to be like traveling with it. I'm not going to be like, this is going to be my palette to take to Disneyland Paris, because that's not going to happen. But it's just such a heavy palette, and I just, again, I agree with Missa. Like, if you haven't seen her video, she does a very like in-depth, because she swatches everything like live on camera, and she gives you like some amazing like thoughts. But it's just so true that a lot of these shades are kind of like replicas of each other, that they could just really have gotten rid of some of the shades. But this seems to be doing okay, like no major issues. That brown is kind of blending in really nicely with that yellow, like that mustard kind of tone. Let's go in with a bit of a smaller brush so we can kind of go in our crease a bit. I say smaller brush, then I pick up the biggest brush that's there. I'm going to go in with, I'm going to say 4K, which I don't think is as deep. It's a bit lighter, so you can definitely see it picks up a lot, and we're going to put that in this crease here and just build it up. It's definitely saving a lot of time by doing two different looks, but it's doing quite well. How does it look? Doesn't seem like that this third shade is adding a lot. I might go back in with the first shade in a moment just to kind of blend out a bit more, which was Polaroid. But this is okay. I mean, I'm going to go back in with Polaroid and just add a bit more at the top, just blend. I can only assume that the shimmers in this are going to be just as good, because of course I've never had a bad shimmer, to be honest, in any of the PLouise eyeshadow palettes. So quite nice. I'm not sure which side I'm liking right now, but this one is definitely a bit more appealing, like the kind of mustardy side. Now let's go in with something to kind of like go here, and I feel like making paper just here will probably do the job. So again, it's a deep-ish yellow. What the hell is that on the end here? Oh, a lot of my bristles like falling apart. I'm just going to put that here and blend that out. Oof. So this isn't the type of eye look that I would do on a regular basis. I just thought I would try out as many shades as I can for this palette and just like blend it and just blend it all together. But so far this is looking not too bad. Alright, so now we're going to go in with a shimmer. So let's go in with So Flashy just here. I like the little stamps on them because they all kind of like represent what it's saying, like what it's representing, if that makes any sense. So this is called So Flashy, and it's got a picture of a little camera, but they must have made so many bloody stamps for this look, because for this palette, because they've got a lot of different ones. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the middle, just like a bit of a halo eye-esque. Okay, and I'm going to get a small brush and just use something in the shimmer. I'm just going to go in with that same brush as before. I feel like going in with Ballin just there, and I'm just going to take just like a little bit right here. Ooh, ooh, that is standing out. That is, yeah, standing out, outstanding. One of those. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's really nice. See, when it comes to like, I know I'm talking about it, but it's just really annoying me, just like that green stopping there. But this side doesn't have that issue, and I'm pretty sure I didn't have that issue last time. But yeah, I'm gonna now go off camera and just add a bit of eyeliner to this one, and then I'll be back for my final thoughts. Okay, this is my finished look. So we've got two different sides here. Let me know what side you guys prefer. I think if this side wasn't as patchy, I would have preferred this side, but I think today the winner is our yellow kind of neutral side. When you look at the whole palette itself, again, I do feel like it could have been minimized just a tad, but I feel like, I know PLouise, they love these kind of like palettes that they're so freaking heavy, they're a pain in the ass to store, but when it comes to the actual kind of payoffs on them, the shadows are all gorgeous, the shimmers are absolutely stunning. I will obviously be using this again in the future, maybe like a second impressions, and maybe incorporate both of the up and down palette. I do love this side as well. I do wish that some of the shades were a bit more kind of like out there, so there was a bit more of a, I know it's meant to be like a neutral tone kind of look, but if it had a couple bit more different tones, and that kind of goes for both of them. Let me know if you guys picked up this palette. Let me know if you think I did a good job or a bad job. I mean, honestly, you could be as honest as you want, I don't really care, but I do quite like it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye bye.